Why does FFmpeg choose 10 plus 20 plus 20 milliseconds instead of an even 16 milliseconds for 60 FPS GIF images? I have a short 60 FPS video which I'd like to turn into a GIF file. I run, and it produces a GIF file. Great! The only problem is that the motion in the produced GIF video is janky and uneven. If I use another tool, I can see that FFmpeg has created a video where the first frame is 10 in NBSP, ms long, the second 20 in NBSP, ms, the third 20 in NBSP, ms, and then it repeats like that, 10 in NBSP, ms, 20 in NBSP, ms, 20 in NBSP. This if I use another tool to smooth it out to an even 16 in NBSP, ms for each frame, without changing the frame contents, the result looks beautiful. Why is FFmpeg doing this? How can I ask it to write a GIF file that requests an even 16 in NBSP, ms per frame instead, so that I don't need to use the second tool? I have now seen this related question asking whether 60 in NBSP, FPS GIF videos even exist, but it doesn't address the question of how to ask FFmpeg to change its behavior. Additionally, it raises a new question. If 16 milliseconds is not a time that GIF can represent, what is the other tool I'm using doing, and why does it work well?
As discussed, do 60 FPS GIFs actually exist? Or is the maximum 50 FPS? The resolution of frame times in GIF is 10 milliseconds, so a nice even 16 milliseconds per frame is not possible. So the answers to the questions, in order, are: why is FFmpeg doing this? Because 10 plus 20 plus 20 gets you 60 FPS on average, and is the most precise approximation with that property that can be represented within the constraints of the GIF format. How can I ask it to write a GIF that requests an even 16 milliseconds per frame instead, so that I don't need to use a second tool? You can't, because the GIF format can't represent that. But I found that asking it to make a 50 FPS video, which can be exactly represented in the GIF format, produces nice smooth results. This can be done with. This uses nearest neighbor temporal interpolation to choose which frame to transfer to the output. If 60 milliseconds is not a time that GIF can represent, what is the other tool I'm using doing, and why does it work well? The other tool I was using was GIMP, and its choice is to round each frame to the nearest representable size, so it was silently changing my requested 16 milliseconds frame to 20 milliseconds frame. It probably works well because my poor human eyes can't tell that everything was happening just slightly too slowly to be correct, only that motions were happening smoothly instead of at unusually spaced intervals.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.